All right, guys, my Byte members, my Byte students, welcome to this new video, this lesson under the same chapter, Logic Gate. Today, we shall be looking at the POS and the SOP simplification, which is nothing other than the product of sum and the sum of product simplification. Okay, let's proceed. A Boolean function can be expressed in standard forms by either using the SOP, sum of product, or the POS, product of sum. The sum of product is a Boolean expression containing AND terms called product terms or min terms, formed with one or more logic input, complemented or non-complemented, which correspond to the output value 1. The sum denotes the ORing of these terms. The terms used in a SOAP are called, as already said, the min terms. Okay. The product of sum is a Boolean expression containing all terms called the sum terms or the max terms, comprising one or more logic inputs, complemented or non-complemented, which correspond to the output value 0. The product denotes the endings of these terms. Okay, guys, let me explain for you to understand better. When we talk of the sum of product, we are talking about a product of variables, complemented or not, which corresponds to the output value 1. Meaning that what when we take a particular product, the value of those particular input, when we substitute them, at the end our answer must give us 1. And now there are many of such terms for a particular expression, and we just select those terms which will give us a value of 1. And at the end the expression is what? The sum of it, that is the ORing of these terms. On the other hand, the product of sum is simply the reverse. Instead of the product, it is the sum of terms. And for the sum of in the sum of those terms, each of those terms must have value 0, complemented or not. When we say complemented or non-complemented, it means that if, for example, we want 0 and a value for and an input, for example, A is at 1, then inside the sum it will be A bar so that it will be 0. That what we said complemented or non-complemented. That is, when we are taking those variables to put them as a product or as a sum, it depends on SOP or POS, we must ensure that the variables we are taking, if it is a product, then inside the product, the value of those variables when multiplied must give us 1. And in case of POS, when adding, it must give us 0. That is what we are saying. Okay. These two methods are used to obtain the expression for a logic output given its truth table with its corresponding input values. Take note, neither the SOP nor the POS is a simplified expression, and hence Boolean laws or Karnaugh maps to be seen later. Karnaugh map is our next lesson. So as we are saying here, the POS and the SOP expression are not simplified expression. They are not simplified expression. And for us to simplify such expression, we need to apply Boolean laws like in lesson number 3, or apply Karnaugh maps, what we shall see in the next lesson, in order to simplify this expression. Example, use the truth table below to obtain the expression of the output x in terms of min terms and max terms. Okay, this is the truth table we are having. We have our input x, y, and z, and we have our output f. Okay, in terms of min terms, it implies we are to use SOP, the sum of product. Okay, 1. We identify the logic value 1 in the output. As we can see, these are the value 1 we have in the output. When you are using sum of product on the output, the first thing is to identify on the output the logic values 1. In this case, there are 3 of them. 2. We obtain the input combination for each of the 1. We obtain the input combination. Like for example, at this particular value of f, x is 0, y is 0, z is 0. So now pay attention, it is the sum of product. If an input is at position, if an input at that position has value 0, it is complemented. If it is 1, it is not complemented. Let us understand. Remember that in the sum of product, we said the product must give us 1. We say the product must give us 1. Now, and they said if an output at that position has value 0, it is complemented. So for example, here x is at value 0, so you have x bar because if x is 0, x bar is 1, y bar 1, z bar 1, so that the product will give me 1. That is what we were saying, complemented or non-complemented. So the precise, if an output at that position has value 0, it is complemented. If it is 1, it is not complemented. Okay, so you realize that at this level, I have x bar, y bar, z bar because x is 0, we complement. Y is 0, we complement. Z is 0, we complement. The next one, what do we get? X is 0, we complement. Y is 0, we complement. Z is 1, so we don't complement. That is why here I have x bar, y bar, z simply. So if an input is at 0, we complement. If an input is at 1, we don't complement. Can you guess for the third one? For this other one? This is what we have x bar, y, z bar because only y is at 1. Can you guess for this one? Okay, x bar, y, z. Can you guess for this last one? X, Y, Z. So this is what we are talking about. Now, after having now these different terms, we said the sum denotes the ordering of these terms used in a SOP. So what do we have? SOP is the sum of all these terms. Hence, F is going to be this plus this plus this plus this plus this. There's supposed to be 5 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, sorry. There's supposed to be 5 terms. It's an error. So I'm supposed to have x bar, y bar, z bar, x bar, y bar, z, x, y, z bar, x bar, y, z plus x, y, z. So take into consideration this term is supposed to be in. It's a little error. I promise my dear students that for the next chapter, such errors you are encountering shall not occur. We proceed. In terms of max terms, it implies we are using POS, product of sum. 1. We identify the logic value 0 in the output. As you can see, we obtain the input combination for each of the 0, but this one now is different. If an input at that position has value 0, it is not complemented. If it is 1, it is complemented. That is what we are saying. So these are the only values where we have 0. Let us see how to obtain these ones. This now is product of sum. That is, we are summing first of all before we take the product. So here I am having x bar because x is at 1, y, z. Please, my dear byte students, do not be confused. When we are talking about the sum of product, we first of all identify where it is 1. If an input is at position 0, it is complemented. If it's at position 1, it is not complemented. I took the example with this one 0, 0, 0, so all the three are complemented. 0, 0, 1, so these two are complemented, Z is not. 0, 0, so X and Z are complemented. But when we come now to the product of sum, we are not identifying 1, but we are identifying a 0. We are identifying the 0. And if an input is at position 0, it is not complemented. If it is at 1, it is complemented. And we see that only x here is at position number 1. So that's why only x is complemented. And here we are adding so that x is 1. So x bar is 0 plus 0 plus 0. Because in the POS we said complement which corresponds to the output value 0. Can you try for this second one? Good. X bar plus y plus z bar. Can you try for the last? X bar plus y bar plus z. So in terms of product of sum, now the product of sum is the product of this term. So if I'm using my POS, that will be my value of f, that is the product of this one, this is it, this one, this is it. Which kind of error again? So here is supposed to be y. Sorry, dear students. Here is supposed to be y. Here is supposed to be y, not y bar, because it is this plus this. So that is the product of sum. And take note, this sum of product and this product of sum at the end gives you the same value. So this is how you obtain the sum of product and the product of sum from a particular truth table given of a particular output of a particular logic output given its truth table. Because in some question you will just be given the truth table, you will not be given the problem situation, you will not be given the expression but just the truth table, and from the truth table you will be expected to generate the expression. When we shall move further, where we shall be looking at combinational circuit, we shall be using these particular terms. But most of the cases, it is sum of product which is being asked from students. Nevertheless, it doesn't mean product of sum should not be known. So, guys, I hope you understood the lesson. In case you did not, make sure you subscribe to my channel. You click on the link in the description to get in touch with me personally in our WhatsApp channel so that I can reinforce the part that is missing when you were following this lesson. Thank you very much. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you and see you guys for the next lesson where we shall be studying Karnaugh maps.